Hey everyone and welcome to Storytime. My name is Jake and today we are going to look at the subreddit r/entitledparents, where people tell us their stories of crazy mums and dads who think they're entitled just because they have kids. If you're new around here, please hit subscribe down below so that you never miss out on another video. But for now, let's sit back, relax, and enjoy some Reddit stories. Disabled person, let my child use the toilet. Said by a non-disabled entitled mother. This happened a few hours ago in my local cinema. It's worth noting here that I use a walking stick due to HEDS and fibromyalgia. This will be relevant later. I'd gone with my partner to see the remake of The Lion King for a cinema date. It was partially ruined for me by a cackle of children who barely shut up for 30 seconds at a time. I'm pretty irritated at this point, but trying my best to stick with it. In the middle of the film, I needed to use the toilet. I head to the disabled toilet adjacent to the female toilets. Right behind me is a woman, entitled mother, with a 4 or 5-year-old child. I get to the disabled loo. Entitled mother shoots me an incredibly dirty look as I shut the door behind me. Had she not seen my walking stick? It's possible she didn't, but considering it's a distinct purple colour and flower pattern, it's a stretch. Either way, I'm trying to go about my business. Within seconds, entitled mother decides to yell through the door. Can you believe people who use disabled toilets when they're not disabled? I mean, how sick? Knock knock. Normally, I'd shout back, but I want to go back to the movie I was watching. I was in no mood for fighting with someone who probably won't learn. I ignore her, but she keeps going. Why do cripples need a special toilet? My child deserves her own toilet without being disabled. I'm trying not to lose my temper. I'm impulsive, but I held strong because I didn't want to ruin my date. I sorted myself out, unlocked the door, and opened to face this woman. My walking stick is clear. I give her a very angry, "not today" death look. So she saw me and immediately shut up. The kid, who hadn't said a word, hid behind their mum. This toilet is not for you. Go away. Entitled mother looks as if she's thinking of what to do, but settles on walking away, child in tow. I go back to my screen and enjoy the rest of The Lion King with the man I love. Maybe this doesn't have the gratifying argument where entitled mother gets punished for yelling at a disabled person, but hey, life isn't that fair. I'm still confused at what that entitled mother was going at, saying, oh, people who use the disabled toilets when they're not disabled, and then saying, why do cripples need a special toilet? What is your logic there? Entitled mother whose kids need to be the center of attention during everyone's birthday. Entitled mother is my actual aunt. Some context in regards to her character. She's one of those mums who takes wanting only the best for my child to extremes. She's the type to literally take a toy out of another kid's hand to give to hers. So suffice to say, she's a pretty obnoxious person to be around, generally. Growing up, entitled mother has and continues to consistently shove her children to the forefront at the birthday parties of almost every child in my family, myself included. A standout thing she would do is outright at the conclusion of singing "Happy Birthday," she would push the birthday kid aside so one of her 2 kids, my cousins, could blow out the candles instead. She would rotate her kids so they would each get a turn at every other party. Some might say this is stupid or not worth mentioning, but I personally think that she's stealing a special moment with which the child could partake in only once a year. And let me reiterate that entitled mother did this at every birthday event our entire family gathered for. She did this to the point where her kids would automatically get into position when we would start singing. Sometimes entitled mother's kids would resist when they sensed that the vibe in the room wasn't good, but she would force them to do it, even threatening punishments if they don't, then pretending to laugh it off later. I continuously voiced my opposition against this as I grew up, but being a minor, kept getting told to just Let her have her way, because she's the type of woman to moan for months if anyone criticizes her, and they just didn't want to deal with it. After a few years of this happening, my family would get into the habit of letting entitled mother's kids blow out the candles first, then relighting it so the birthday kid could get their deserved turn. Instead of seeing this as an obvious sign to stop, entitled mother escalated to not only continuing to let my cousins blow out the candles, but immediately after, grabbing a fistful of the cake and urging her kids to do the same. To which they obliged, pretending to be playful in an attempt to ruin it and prevent us from relighting. Once again, my family collectively disapproved, internally, but chose to let it go in some vain hope of maintaining civility. Fast forward, I become a parent of my own to a baby girl, and entitled mother becomes a grandmother to my cousin's kids. I celebrated my daughter's first few birthdays with only my immediate household to keep things intimate, but would still hear stories through family that entitled mother continues to force the little ones to hog the limelight at other birthday parties. Only this time, they're her grandchildren, and she's extended beyond just doing this to our family. Still wanting to spend time with everyone, but unable to exclude just entitled mother without looking like a douchebag, I decided to just invite everyone out for her 4th birthday. We start singing, and lo and behold, I see the familiar sight of entitled mother, positioning her now grandkids right beside the cake. One hand on my daughter's shoulder, ready to shove her aside. The many memories of not being able to blow out my own candles for most of my life, and believing, as a child, that my wishes never came true because of it, welled up in that moment, and I shouted directly at her, mid-song, "Don't pull that move again." What ensued could be summed up as a woman, old enough to have grandchildren, verbally stomping her feet and calling me disrespectful because I valued my daughter over my nieces. To clarify, I love my cousins and their kids, and in no way blame them for something they were taught as kids to be okay behaviour. I just couldn't stand her. And although entitled mother still gives me stick every time we're at the same event, she never did it again, and I will never regret burning bridges with her by saying what I said. Edit just wanted to include that what transpired during my kid's birthday party was the first and last time she was invited with me as the host. Why anyone else continues to invite her to their party, I will never know. I'm sorry, but that family is weird. Like, if anyone in my family did that, everyone would just berate the person for doing that. That's such a douchebag thing to do. Entitled mother destroys a decade-long friendship. I met the entitled mother of this story back when we both started university, almost a decade before this story, and well before she was an entitled mom. We were really good friends, and I saw no reason for that to change even as we grew up, got different interests, and started to settle down. I've never been someone who wanted children of my own, and though I am perfectly nice to any children I meet, I am uncomfortable with them around me. I've never made a secret of this, and it's never been a problem amongst any of my friend group, even when many of them started to have children. They would know that I would happily play with their kids if it was a group function, but not to ask me to babysit, etc. Anyway, onto the story. It was my 30th birthday, and my best friend, F, was organising a party for me. It was going to be an escape room, and then a meal out with about 10 of my closest friends, and she laid down the rules that no children were allowed. Nobody raised any objections. But then the day of the party arrived, and the entitled mother showed up with her kid, who was about 3 at the time. My friend intercepted her at the entrance to the escape room building, and this was the conversation, as accurate as possible as it's been 2 years now. "Oh, hey entitled mum, didn't you get the information that no kids were allowed at the party?" "I didn't think that applied to me, only tiny babies. My son is old enough to know not to make lots of noise. You'll never know he was here." It applies to all kids. This is OP's birthday, and she's not a fan of children, It's not fair to make her have them at her birthday party. Entitled mother getting offended. But when she said that, she never meant my son. She loves my son. Just ask her. No, it's not about individual children. No children are allowed. Entitled mother starts craning her neck around F and shouting for me. So I, reluctantly, come over. I decided to try and give her an out and pretend I hadn't heard that. Hi, entitled mother and kid. It's so nice of you to drop by and say hello, since you obviously can't attend. Entitled mother, confused. What? But I'm here. Of course I can attend. Oh, listen, I'm sorry, maybe it wasn't clear, but there's no under 18s at the party. Is someone coming to pick kid up? Maybe husband? No, my son is coming in too. He's been looking forward to this all week. No, he's not. I step in a bit closer to try and make this private. Still, stupidly, thinking we can resolve this. After all, we've been friends over a decade at this point, and she knows how I feel about kids at functions. Come on, entitled mother, don't be daft. You know me. You know kids at my party was never going to happen. But I'd still like you to come. Why don't you call husband and see if he can pick kid up? That was always other kids, not my kid. Note, not true. Now you're saying you hate my son? What kind of messed up person hates a toddler? I thought we were friends, but now you're saying you hate my kid? Entitled mother actually slaps my face, but not hard. She's obviously furious. There's tears. And honestly, everyone's just gobsmacked. We knew she had a temper, but none of us had seen her be violent before. It didn't really hurt, just sting. It was just the shock. What? I don't hate him, I just don't like children at my parties. Just go, I don't even want you here. I don't want to see you right now. Talk to me tomorrow if you want to apologize. I walked away at that point, not trusting myself to say any more, and let my friend take over because entitled mother wasn't leaving. You can't seriously be telling me to leave. I'm one of OP's oldest friends, and I promised my son a meal out today. I don't have anything in the house because I thought we'd be eating out. What are we supposed to eat now? My friend, who doesn't know entitled mother as well, and is blunter than me, I don't give a flying frog. Now go away, both of you. It's not my fault I can't come. At least give me a tenner to take him to McDonald's so he can have a meal out. My friend laughs angrily. Ha! You've got to be kidding me. And then friend comes inside and shuts the building door, leaving entitled mother stewing outside. I don't know how long she stayed there, but she was gone when we came out. I was shocked at her behaviour. I thought I knew her so well, and it did spoil the party a bit, despite everyone else being lovely and the party being a lot of fun. She never texted me again with an apology, so I never texted her again. That was it. An abrupt ending to a 10-year friendship. I'm still a little sad about it sometimes. We used to be so close, but I guess the adage, motherhood changes a person, really isn't a lie in this case. I can't even begin to fathom around how an entitled mother can ruin a 10-year friendship over just a simple rule of, don't bring your kids today because we don't want to have to deal with them. Like, is that so hard to figure out? Hey everyone, I hope you all had a really good day and that you enjoyed that video. If you want to check out some other videos, then click on screen right now, or check out the playlist down below. If you enjoyed that video, then please do leave a like. And if you want to submit your own stories, then you can do so by joining the Discord in the top link in the description. But thank you so much for watching, and I will see you very soon.